Right, we have undead killing to do. I checked the crafting situation. It doesn't make a difference. The level we are, we should be getting master level abilities just fine. I think we got a bad luck there. So I'm gonna do that quickly. We can't expect a lot from it, but I'm not taking 0 master level spells from 20 plus scrolls. Although I probably should take it. Accept it, move on, try to make 2. Either way, we'll use up all the blank elemental scrolls. And I suppose the witchcraft too. With 2 we could create a... Ah, that's a nasty thing. Actually we'll do a little bit different. With 2 we can create a book. I'm pretty sure I have a spell ready for this book. Summon Undead Warrior Novice, very useful book. Yeah, it's a cheap summon to use, and we have the space for it too. Only 4 points, and it's pretty much equal to the spider. Doesn't use elemental attacks also, which is a strong point we need to do away with someone who has strong elemental defenses. So it's probably our best summon creature to use for a long time, as in 3-4 levels maybe. Anywho, see what we can get. The less is a piece of crap. A bless, it's a piece of crap. Spider, it's cheaper, summon could be useful, still not good. Oil, useful here and there, but still not good. Yeah, same thing. Poison resistance could be useful here and there, but mostly it's shit. Petrifying touch, again, could save my ass in a tough situation, but mostly it's a piece of shit. And master level earthquake. Knocks all enemies down, deals a massive amount of earth damage. Again, the damage will go up as we get more intelligence and we level up. 300% chance to set knockdown, so that's guaranteed, and I think this only affects enemies. So if we're in a group fight with people on our own side, we could basically buy time for our group to get the upper hand. I can't recall what this would be good for. It does less damage than the other elemental master level spells, but it's a guaranteed status effect on anyone who isn't immune to it. Air elemental summon, very useful, especially if we're gonna go after the Sparkmaster. Yeah, more of the same. Don't have to worry about spending those now. Same with head device, good damage. Visibility could be useful here and there. Piece of crap. Advice and advice. So we more or less got the equipment needed to take down Sparkmaster. That's it. Not a good haul, but we have use for that. Why am I getting frost scrolls from fire? Well, whatever. Smoke screen could have some use. Problem being a smoke grenade does the same thing. We already have this as a spell. Explode is you explode yourself and those around you. I don't get it unless you're immune to fire or something. Crap. And crap. So basically mostly crap. Novice levels shit. Rain. Nice wall, I think. Yeah, this could be somewhat useful. Slow, yeah, piece of crap. Again, fire spell. Ooh, hail attack. This is a good one. This would probably allow me to deal with Brachus Rex. when we faced him the first time at level 8 or 9. He's does a massive amount of fire damage. I think a meteor strike right on the start of the battle. So we need to have almost fire immunity to face him, which probably also means he's going to be vulnerable to water. This will do over 1,000 points of damage if you're lucky. Winter Blast. Area of effect, freeze and water attack. Not bad. I wouldn't say the whole was good, but at the same time we got 2 master abilities, which is more or less what I would imagine, about 10%, maybe less of the spells we get. About 10% maybe. And one of them would potentially be a perfect match for one of the bosses we're going to have to face in the next few levels, so I consider this a successful run on those spells. Not perfect by any means, but we got absolutely critical equipment pieces there. Yeah, they put the priest in a very nasty position. Trying to get to it is pretty much impossible. You have to go through some opponents no matter what you do. In fact, this is probably a worse invisibility. It has to be invisibility.
In the footsteps of the brawler.
It's not a super good answer, but yeah, we'll get to where we need to be. He needs to die, otherwise we're going to be boned, so... He's not all that tough and he has fire weakness. I still can't kill him with conventional spells only, I would say. I'll try to get by with just spells this time. At least initially to get to the freeze. Should have maybe attacked with a little bit more gusto here. Yeah, if I could have killed him, there would have not have been protected from the hover. So now I can't really control the remaining ones. Strong attack would have seen us through. They can't reach me though. Their own guys and my summon creature are blocking my attack system, I guess. So this isn't actually all that bad of a situation. The fleet, so hovering ability is not going to last long. So yeah, it's a bit of a bummer now, but if we wait a turn, we can then create a fire field, have them attack us. That's more or less their aim.
Good as a new penny.
Right, he's pretty much boned. There's no throwing this really anywhere. It won't make a really a difference.
Eternal silence awaits you.
My equipment is breaking down. It'll probably last for this fight, but we'll have to prepare it after that. Delay defensive stance. My only reason for the summoned creature to exist is to block their access to me. Once the hover runs out, I can create a field of fire here and can pull back maybe a little bit. If they want to get me, they'll have to go to the field of fire. Zombies especially should be vulnerable to it. They'll start exploding every time I do damage to them. It sort of looks like they can come at me maybe one or two at a time at most. So the AI is having some kind of think about it. Doesn't really know what to do. That means managing the damage should be fairly trivial for us. Hovering won't last. Might not be the best timing to do this though.
Nimble as a fox.
Nimble as a fail. I'll have to wait. I'm gonna need quite a few action points to put this plan into action, so I can't waste any more on that. Now they should be on the ground, so we can basically start a field of fire, maybe even right on top of this. Our current location. I can protect myself from fire damage, or burning at least. And if I stay put, the field of fire isn't gonna do that much damage. I can spread it through oil and a boulder bash. Could also escape from this situation, I guess. Let's let them battering ram attack. One reason to escape would be that they won't waste so much time on their turn. The AI just can't handle the situation. Waste a massive amount of time doing nothing basically.
Homegrown hotness.
Archer probably can attack us, not the rest. Go away.
Mercy on your soul.
I just want to make sure if they want to come to me, we're gonna have to burn. Burn, burn, burn. Archer wants to wait, that's fine. We're in no particular hurry to get there. I'm gonna pull back a little bit, see how he reacts. Might have an instinct to come closer. No instincts of that kind. I suppose I could always just shut the fire down. I mean, if it's not gonna, they're not gonna walk into it, what the hell am I keeping up? I can't do anything with it either.
Come, spin your web for me.
I don't think I'm in any danger anymore. Sure, they might be able to do something, but mostly they're probably just gonna rush to this wall. And that's the end of it. Mostly worried about the spider, not the pig. Not the spider, but the goddamn archer. Pig is irrelevant.
Assault from the air. Sweet relief.
Sweet relief indeed. Doesn't look like there's all that much we can do here anymore.
Burning touch. Good as a new penny. I needed that.
We're not killing the goddamn pig, it's standing on top of ooze. We should really try to get rid of the ooze first. We're gonna lose the summon, so probably should get another one immediately.
They answer.
I wish we'd be able to push this to an end in a turn or two. They can't kill the skeleton. If they try to attack me, I'm gonna throw them away and them die in a fire. I don't want to waste a grenade on it. Well, it's not much of a waste if I would use one. We can do it without it though. Although, he does heal constantly, and it's pretty obvious that we have to do something. Attack the ground. It has to be pretty much a grenade then. They're not that expensive for me to get.
Vibrant hotness. Look up.
If he attacks, he dies. If he runs away, he dies. Okay, not bad. The invisibility is probably the best thing I ever took on this character though. Just the fact that you can position your character where you really want to makes massive.
Back on my feet again. A stitch in time, eh, my friend?
Yeah, almost lost his equipment pieces. At the same time, the durability was pretty poor to begin with. And I probably haven't repaired things for in a while. Right, so what's the loot? Nothing particularly interesting as from our perspective. You're fairly standard issue rubbish. Still, Getting closer to the all important level up. There's probably quite a few fights we still have left for us. I'm pretty sure there's another fight here. There should be a burning chest. Yep, yep. Not sure what the fight is. No, it's the chest itself is the fight.
I prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
You're too fast! You're too slow! Off I go! Zip-zap away! You're too fast! You're too slow! Ho, ho, ho! Grab me then if you can! Don't move! I'll allow you to eat seaweed!
Ah, rubbish.
What a deluge!
Box. Not a chest, but a box. Okay. There's definitely at least one big fight against Guardians of the access to the cave where Sparkmaster 5000 is. Same time, I'm not really worried about that anymore. The fact that though we got terrible lightning attacks, we still got them instead of defensive abilities. So that's hundreds of points of lightning damage I can do in a couple of turns. Not a minor thing. Because if I recall how the fight goes, even the enemies will use lightning on the target. So while they will charge it up, they will also do damage to it. So that's maybe 3 to 4 mages spamming it with lightning attacks. It's gonna take a lot of damage. There's an enemy group down there. Looks like zombie boars, some kind of casters. So more or less a repeat of what we saw before. Except mages instead of priests, but vulnerable to crushing and fire, so more or less the same shit. I suppose the real question is, how do we want to handle this? I'm not sure I want to do it like I've been doing it now, like upping my damage first and then seeing what happens. Yeah, there's a lot of zombies and maybe a couple of casters, I think. Might be better to us, of course, just to summon a creature there to hold them in place. Spider is a decoy. Its purpose is to collect the enemy in a smaller group. So when I unleash everything I have on it, I can get more of them. I can also probably get 2 turns in a row. So that'll be useful. A little bit of weakening here could go a long way into determining also what they have in store could have some kind of bullshit abilities. Yeah, we're dead. 3 turns done. I cannot move or cast spells for 3 turns. What is that? Arcane Vortex. Water immunity aura and wind water. Okay, that's the specialty here then. But why would I care? More or less to seeing how this goes. I have a 50% chance of resisting stun every turn and I'm failing and failing. So I don't think there's any point in continuing this. Even if I survive, the chance to take them out in a easy and efficient manner is already passed. So that's gonna be fun. Super fun. Still, I think the decoy makes a lot of sense. Because if I just try to kill him, even though it might be possible, they're not gonna exactly rush into my little field of fire, are they? At the same time, I might be able to actually kill this one. That would make my job a lot easier. Yeah, let's go with the offensive approach. Tends to work out really well. I sort of want to be in the river myself. I can be much more careless in my use of fire. I can do 2 attacks and then something, maybe haste. But it won't work. It won't benefit me now. It will benefit me on the next turn. We want to, I suppose, throw this as far away as we can. Yeah, that's fine.
Incoming!
Not a bad throw. It served our purpose, that's it. Can still attack me, but there's no direct path, so it'll buy time. And we can spread the fire too.
The time of your death is at hand.
1 mage down, hitless zombies in pretty bad shape. I do need a summon feature of some sort. I'm just not sure where I'm gonna throw it. You guys. Doesn't really have to do much, just more or less stay there and block the. I think I can throw oil from a scroll. Quite a lot of it. Okay. We don't care about the headless zombie really. We want to offer these guys something to do so they don't come and join the fight down south. Even the zombies retreated. Okay. It makes me easier to manage things again. Like long range attacks comes to bite me in the ass. Might be able to... I can't really do all that much. So points... Yeah, the undead mage is my only real concern. Everything else is manageable, but you never know what that kind of a creature can do. I think I can do a rock smash on them to damage, ignite them further. So they will have a couple enemies still harassing me, but I won't be in any real danger. I think in many ways we're best off just saving our abilities. Why is there an armored archer here suddenly? Two of them. That's sort of bullshit. But it's not like it's the first time that happened, so not unexpected. I need another sidekick.
On the men!
Trying to keep the damage at a manageable level. Yeah, I think we're okay. I can't see him ignoring the spider. So my main guy is safe, and he's burning to death. Like, another peak there. Gonna be fairly careful in trying
Back on my
to...
feet again!
What happened? I am cursed. All my primary stats are at -2. Still managed to keep my armor on there, so that's sort of positive. I lost one of the weapons. That's nice. It died. It sacrificed itself to get that ability going. That's an interesting thing. Not much we can do. I don't want to get rid of the fire. It's protecting me fairly well.
Three, stop!
I think we got this under control now. Even with the extra guys, I can't see them being able to do all that much. Fighter Bro is also active now. So yeah, I think they're more or less prone.
On the men!
Ice is slippery. I don't want to move. Let the pig come to us. Ah, crap. I want my accuracy back. one zombie left. We're in pretty much full health. Well, are after this at least. And we can summon extra help at any moment. So I think I'll wait, see what it does. It hits like a truck if I recall, but it's so slow.
I
It's
needed
not
that.
a lot of fingers. What I want to do is maybe teleport it to the fire, or alternatively just let it come to us and we'll ignite it. Right. Being poisoned is not actually a good thing against the fire
May I
user.
be valued as the Lion of Summer.
This is gonna do a lot of damage. Yeah. Drop it below half health. Too bad we don't really have follow-up abilities on this. I suppose normal attack would be the best choice. Yeah, it'll take additional fire damage.
Into the fray once more.
Yeah, this went actually surprisingly well. A little bit of a setback with the equipment. Even then, not a catastrophe. But that's a good highlight on what happens when you basically are playing at the very edge of your attributes. If anything happens to them, you can be screwed. You lose your weapons, your armor, and you die very quickly after that. Massive drop in hit points, everything.
A stitch
All
in
the
time,
suddenly
my friends.
with a single arrow or a spell.
Sweet relief.
Good scrolls. Ice Wall, another good one. Ice Wall is probably one of the better ones for us. It doesn't really do much damage. What it does is makes managing a fight more simpler, because they can't really, the AI doesn't realize you're there behind the shield. It just doesn't handle it right. And even if you can't block things fully, you can still create choke points. I sort of would like to get the level up to level 6 before trying to go there. But we would have to face some other group of enemies then. And I'm not sure if they are all the 5,000 experience points isn't a trivial amount. It has to be a fairly serious fight. In fact, it would be the easiest if we went against the Sparkmaster. I got my ass handed by the Sparkmaster the first time quite thoroughly, but I don't think it's because the fight is particularly hard, it's because I didn't understand how the fight is supposed to go. Once you get a sort of a handle on it, try to play it how it's intended to be, it's not that troublesome. At the same time, I think how it's intended to be is not intended to be played or defeated. It's not a good way to defeat the creature. It's a tedious, not necessarily tedious. It's fairly dangerous, but it is a long way. It's an endurance fight against a creature, which you shouldn't do. It's so powerful in its attacks that you want to just get it out of the way as soon as possible.
It's just the wind, Blossius. Cool your boots.
Since when does the wind sound the same as a stray dog? Who are you? It's haunted to answer you. I suspect the... Oh, what? Phew. Mark, if I try to say you're lava.
We got a little bit of experience just talking to
Tread
these guys.
lightly, will ya?
Also, I haven't
Who we are
reported
now is
back to
certainly
the
different
leader of
from
the
who we used to
Legion.
be. We agreed near the bridge just beyond us. Same as what happened. One of us I've never felt, but it was only...
They should give us also a little bit of extra experience. So it might not be nowhere near the 5,000 I think it is. If it is not, we could do a couple of easier fights and get a level up. This church cemetery isn't that tough. Because there's ooh, we're starting to get metal scraps. That is a big thing. Yeah, these are tough because they're like 3 levels above. But the graveyard would have
Oh, for the love of Grosvenor.
explosive bombs. They might be high level, but they'll still die easily, and you can cause chain reactions with them. So there, you can easily take them out, get a significant amount of experience to engaging them. Enough to get what we want. We don't necessarily need the 4,000 from a single place. Although getting to the church would probably require invisibility. Otherwise we have to fight dangerous creatures. That rarely goes all that well for us. But it's doable.
Another piece of trash.
Wishing wells. This is worth some experience, right? You might be able to get the level up by just talking to people at this point.
Well, I'm Walter. It was that my brother William, why, I wonder, I can teleport you to the winter. Give William my regards. Woe are we.
I can't go there without the companion. Oh, there's a portal there, so if we can go there, we might be able to... No, there's a wolf pack there I don't want to fight. It's purely melee, but it's competent melee. So trying to face against it would be troublesome. I think we're better off trying to go into the church area a little bit. There shouldn't be large armies here, just maybe traps and explode skeletons. Okay, there's trigger blades here. I'm a bit worried. Lot of traps. Yeah, that's something's gonna explode there. Yeah, there's definitely a mine. Might be worth saving it though, because we can explode it when we want. Opsaron. That's probably better than what I have. No, it's not. Well, it has to be because the current one doesn't do anything. This is level 7 that doesn't do anything. Good for us. Undead Lupine Horror, level 8. So 3 level above. And it is troublesome. I need a distraction. It's still just a single enemy, so I think I can handle it. Poison fire combination is just fantastic. I think it's the ooze actually, not the poison itself. No, I want damage. Damage. Every physical damage causes it to explode. Doubt it can bleed, but let's try it. It can. It'll kill the skeleton, but it'll die in the attempt of killing me. Like 1500. Definitely can get the level up now if I just talk to people. Probably report back to town and that'll be it. I mean, these guys are 3 levels above me. I don't want to spend time here now. Thanks. Thanks, game.
Back on my feet again.
Fairly serious trap.
Back on my feet again.
Yeah, I think I'll be heading back to town. We'll get the level up, we'll though go shopping and more or less make preparation for a Sparkmaster 5000. I'd also like to take it down though. I don't think it's that challenging. It's one of those things that it either goes quickly or you get stuck fighting it for half a dozen turns at least. One way or another.
As good as a new penny.
Just fairly certain I can get it done the easy way this time. Also need to keep an eye out on crafting blacksmithing gear.
So good to see you again, Source Hunter. I shall be very glad to share what if ever we want to be 3 landmarks were chosen for. There are ancient local archaeologists, my legionnaires. They all perish. There's a church to the north. All superstitious mumbled for 2 years. Still, I thank you for telling me, Source Hunter. Knowledge is better than uncertainty.
Ice wall and air elementals are offered again. We would like this blacksmithing and crafting in a single item. This is what we want. So we basically have to just put the crafting gear on. Bodybuilding +1, initiative +2. Very attractive to me. Do I have the funds for this? Barely.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Various. You'll only encourage it.
We basically have the one we craft with and the one we adventure with. Initiative is useful, bodybuilding is very useful, so it's a good build. And it doesn't really matter what armor it has, because they still don't have armor. Still, I'm now extremely poor. I think I can change that though. Crafting gear. Can do blacksmithing or crafting. I'd like them both in the same item. Similar thing with the belt. Just put 2 items on, craft whatever you need. Don't have to worry about which skill it actually happens to use.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Various. You'll only
We'll probably sell this craft for enough pocket change that we can do some basic trading.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Right, what exactly do we want with this level up? We should be getting access to depth level spells to Rapture and Drain Willpower. I'm not so sure about this, but we can give it a try. I can always remove that spell if I don't want it. We're getting more abilities each level up. What attribute? I sort of want to go with speed. We would get 10 action points. Yeah. 15 maximum, 9 at start, every turn at every turn. It's 2 adept level scrolls. I think master levels are 6. So we could go with a master level and a novice. What else? What to do with the points? I'm inclining to start taking bodybuilding and, well, bodybuilding at least. The knockdown, burning, frozen, bleeding, crippled, blinded, weak, disease, infected, gun. They might not end the game, but they are sort of hard to deal with. You know, if it happens early in the fight, it's basically fight over for me. I can always deal with the other things. I can't really do much about this. I'm thinking of putting 2 points in it. Not sure about that. I'll put at least 1. I'm thinking about the others. I'm sort of leaning toward getting man at arms. I have to recheck the skills. Man at arms because it has another damage buffing skill, which I think we can stack on top of the rest. Because one is a toggle, one is a witchcraft spell, and one is a man at arms ability. So even if not all of them stack, it would still be useful because I can't keep casting the same damage buffing spells constantly. I always have to keep up something or wait for a huge amount of time before I can recast it. So even if I can just sequence them to maintain the extra spell damage when I happen to need it, it will still be incredibly useful to me. But that is assuming that's actually how that spell is available. I do need to craft something. This is gonna eat up a lot of cash. Like a metric ton of it. And we have blacksmithing only.
Greetings! These stores are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest.
We'll do the crafting first. Because we'll have to go all over the place and buy stuff from various people. It's easier if we have a solid chunk of cash to work with. If we get metal scraps, that means we can probably make better armor for myself. How good would it be? A 62 armor class. So it's not that big of an improvement. It will have movement bonus and extra hit points. Actually, no. No at all. It has a magical bonus in that armor, which means it's one of 2 kinds. There's non-magical that have higher armor class and magical that have lower armor class. So that slight bonus there is actually an indication that it's the weaker version. $62 on the weaker, 72 on the stronger. And the minuscule amount of hit points, it means nothing to me. This would be a significant armor increase. And it can be further improved to get a movement bonus on it too. Yeah, so it's more or less the same except it has massively superior armor. Strength requirement will go up by 1, which is not good, but it's also not crippling to enemies. We have crafting gear, so armor could be higher. is 35% physical damage reduction, which is not good. The key area is constantly between 40 and 50, actually higher if we can make it, but between 40 and 50 I'm okay with it. Any lower and it's a problem. Yeah, 44, just a single new item. At least it's tolerable again. To make paper. $19, $20, $22 in total, and half a dozen on top of that. We don't really have the essences to make the spell scrolls now. So once we get let's say about 10 blank scrolls, we can try to make a new batch of them and see what comes. Maybe hope something like 1 in those 10 will be a master level ability of some sort. They're the best at this point, but they're not necessarily the ones we want in the long term, because the ability to get a good ability or a summon is just as valuable. We need the right tool, the right situation, not necessarily just what does the best, highest damage at the moment. Sorry, it could be better, I guess, I suppose. But this would be a decent amount of damage, a decent amount of wealth. We are not really interested in the weapons themselves. I think they're going to be producing 2 kinds, the cheaper ones with a couple of hundred in value, and the better ones with about 500 in value. Yeah, 571. We could re-smelt the weaker ones and just remake them until we get the higher value ones, but I have zero interest in doing that shit. It's a bit too much. This is going to eat up quite a bit of time anyway, in the crafting and the shopping. I don't want to extend it if it's not absolutely necessary. Currently we need a lot of cash. We need to probably buy new spells. We need to buy a lot of crafting gear. The air essences are about 500-600 a single one. So that's how much we're going to get. Or pay for the chance to roll a dice on a random scroll that might be worth 20 gold. But it also might be the difference between being able to complete the game and not, so I'll pay it. We could produce a lot of different other items too. We'll save those for later. Maybe the staves should be produced though. It's quite a lot of them. Branches. I mean, they already have weight. That's sort of the problem. This is this crafting or blacksmithing? I'm not sure. I think I'll just let it go for now. We have enough to do the trading.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
I suppose your example.
That inspiration.
I want to check the ship shopkeeper one last time. I don't think he actually gets, he's a proper shop, so he doesn't get upgraded. But I want to make sure. I haven't visited here in a long time. He certainly should have new stuff if he's a proper shop.
Is that why we never sail to your door anymore?
Heard anything about the whereabouts of the magic stick yet?
He's got an upgrade, but he's not selling anything I'm not really interested in.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
I suppose the magical sarong. This wouldn't be a bad, decent resistances, and we can increase these further. So whether fire, water or poison, we could get decent resistance from this one item alone. I'm inclined to buy it, because fire, water and poison are the main damage types I'm gonna have to deal with in Size Seal.
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy
Uh,
legionnaire really
let's see
thinks
if I
that
can
orchid
get
charm
the
loves him.
I wouldn't let an
latest
Orwig
magical
500
stuff
yards,
added
my
here.
lovely nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feddle's
To get rid of this anyway.
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an Orwig 500 yards, my loving nature.
Alright, that's good enough.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feddle's carriage for the joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
It's not perfect, and I might want to upgrade it pretty much immediately a little bit. We'd also upgrade the blade. The reason I'm sort of hesitating on those upgrades is I think the character level is the important factor in that. So if we do it in a very low level, it's gonna be worth a piece of crap anyway. It is definitely crafting though, not blacksmithing, so this is definitely a test. I just want to see what level of enchantment we would be getting on an armor piece with elemental resistances on it. 10%, yeah, it's not all that good. 15 would be more reasonable. It's not like it's a horrible piece of crap, but I think you get 15 when maybe around level 7, 8 or 9. So we are currently 6 and we don't, strictly speaking, have a really urgent need for it. So we might as well wait.
Steady, boys. Steady.
Another thing worth checking, I suppose, are where are the actual item upgrade threshold? They're very specific levels where that happens. There might be other considerations like the quality of the level of the item. So you can't, once you can produce X level items, then you can upgrade them further. So it's not the recipe itself, it's the item.
Something you'd like to buy, I could set all that aside for a few delicious moments.
Actually sell something I could use. Initiative and poison resistance. Poison is sort of a problem, but not that big of a problem. Fundamental problem with poison is that it's sort of like burning. You can deal with it always. So do you really want all that much protection against it versus protection against almost anything else? And to me the answer is almost always not really. Better a cap. Still a horrible cap. Not even a helmet. Nothing all that interesting. I suppose some of the scrolls could be useful. Although it doesn't look like that. Still, these could have their uses, so...
Goodbye there, good friend!
Disappointing selection, though. What shops have we visited here? Have we visited any shops? I need to visit the 2 shops here and the Legion Commander to see what the man-at-arms adept level skills are. Are they worth taking, or are we going to go with something else? Decent pair of gloves. high armor class compared to what I currently have. Constitution shield, not a horrible idea. Most of this is food. Gloves would be the only positive thing.
She's bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly will be the least of it.
He has a lot of cash.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
The beast speaks, so you have a brain behind that feral maul, have you?
Right. Still, I'm starting to gather up decent amount of wealth. 5,000 gold now, and there's really nothing to buy, so it will keep gathering quite quickly.
Well, Source
Once
Hunter,
we can start
you
buying
come to right
elemental
place, you have.
essences, that'll
I got
deter.
every style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a trade you're after.
Nothing particularly interesting anywhere. Still want to check them if there are things like immunities or something like that. That's incredibly valuable for me to know. More hit points, more armor rating. But still, these aren't proper helmets. This is a cloth cap. Is it too much to ask to get an actual metal helmet? Something that requires strength? Well, it wasn't a total waste. Blank scrolls, some crafting and gear. Especially pixie dust is something we're probably gonna have a massive amount of there.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
It's a common ingredient sold by a lot of places. So if we want to produce a massive amount of witchcraft scrolls, I think that's a possibility at the
The
village.
Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour.
Metal helmets. So at least something here. Armor's a bit on the weak side. 22, it's a slight improvement, but it's nothing special. Okay, Whirlwind, don't care. Haunt, don't care. I'm alone, they're gonna attack me anyway. Crippling Blow, don't particularly care. Barbed Wire. Reflect melee damage inflicted upon you at the cost of your chance to hit. Enemies attacking you with melee weapons will take half the damage they deal to you as piercing damage. Your chance to hit goes down. You may start bleeding as you activate this stance. Requires a shield. I don't think this is a bad one, but I can't imagine a single fight that I've done so far where the strategy of just sit there and do nothing would have gained us any kind of victory. So while I don't think this is terrible, I don't think it's particularly good either. I'm not seeing the skill book that I'm sort of looking for. Should I buy the metal helmet? It's extra 5 armor class, which doesn't sound much, but it actually does make a difference. And it's the only, but I'm sort of hoping that we might get something better. There's quite a few shops still left, and if we visit all the non-crafting shops too, we can probably get something along the, well, something we want.
Jagetta, friend.
Paper, blank scroll, blank scroll, blank scroll. Forgotten language of the fairy.
Discovered in this
Low
library?
resistance, summon fire elemental. I don't know. I suppose we could take them.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition too. Most promising.
I'll trade some perception potions.
Ugh, what nonsense. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
Right. Forgotten language of the fairy should get us a quest done. Doesn't actually record. That's the second one I bought apparently. So that's wonderful.
The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the
Wanna buy? No. Someone else has to buy it. She doesn't have cash. Esmeralda. Wanna buy a book? It's a wonderful book. I don't recall what you get with it though. Where do you even use it? It's Hyperheim is the fairyland. I have no recollection
The
of
hunter
that, but I do
returns.
recall it was
I
used
hope you are here to
somewhere.
shop rather than
So I'm
sleuth.
definitely interested in buying it. I mean, rather... Clearly I was, because I bought 2 of them. Anyway, looks like there's a good amount of gear here. A metal helmet. It's a 5-point armor rating increase plus leadership plus hit points. Leadership would apply only to my summoned creatures. So that's not worth paying for. The non-magical version would be almost as attractive. I suppose there's still a couple of shops left. I think we should see what they offer. The non-magical version would be cheaper and more or less do the same thing. At the same time, the extra hit points you get here and there do add up. So I don't want to dismiss their usefulness.
Toe of snake, wing of
Right,
worm.
this would be the second last
spice
shop.
of dearest customer. I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank a
Fireball,
sporty,
2.
I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Quarter of life, magical constitution increase for 5 turns. 4.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
And paper. I think I'll pay them in cash. Decent amount of skulls, especially fire skulls. We have a decent amount now. Yeah, 6, 7 fireballs, please. I'm fairly comfortable with our options now. Also, the Mendius guy and his group probably has some items to sell.
Quest, hero and
At least one of them had a decent amount of items on shop.
Careful now.
Anna.
Your head's grown more swollen. Providing you can afford it, I'll be happy to supply you with all the gear you'll need while swinging swords alongside the fabulous five.
Lore Master initiative reflect 15% of any damage as air damage. Not sure if that's a good thing, but it's a powerful amulet. Also has Lore Master has initiative, and it's better than the 14 hit points this piece of crap gives. So I'm thinking of maybe buying an upgrade there.
You think you can speak that way to her?
Reflect 10% of melee damage as piercing damage. Hardly a downside there. I do like the fact that the game tries to cater to that kind of play style now. That you just sit there with your shield and reflect damage. Can I afford it? Yep. I don't think it's anything amazingly good, but I'm more or less thinking in the way that what the hell are you gonna spend your money on anyway then?
Eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
I wonder how this works. Does the reflected air damage also cause status effects? As in, if they're standing in water, they would get stunned. It'll be terrible against a couple of opponents, but I can't think of any such opponent for at this
How
moment.
gratifying to see
Meaning
you
we probably aren't
return.
gonna face
You are
such an
quickly
opponent for a
becoming
long
my
time.
favorite customer.
Outdated metal helmet. Is that the only thing they offer here? Not much of an upgrade to anything. If I pay a little bit more, I could get at least the leadership bonus. Might not sound like much, but it is a bonus, a genuine benefit to my summoned creatures, and I am summoning creatures constantly, so I'm inclined to go for it. It'll make sure I'm piss poor after that again, but that's hardly a problem. You can always make more money. And our spell selection is surprisingly good at this point. With a potential means of taking down Brachus Rex. If I recall Connor correctly, he had something like below 1500 health. His big deal was the opening shot of the meteor strike.
Those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen. The hunter returns.
So if
I
we
hope
can
you are here to shop
wipe out
rather
about
than
1000
sleuth.
of its hit points, that should change things drastically. Either way, I think our equipment upgrade here is now done. It's not that great of an upgrade, to be honest, but it is an improvement. Also, good improvement on our initiative, so we're really starting more fights with this point on. Still, 46 plus point physical damage reduction. Initiative. And do we need anything else? Maybe something to do with rings. Not happy with those. We don't need this much telekinesis or lore mastery. At the same time, there are no good rings to take. Okay. 46% physical damage reduction, some resistances here and there, but nothing major. I could add 10% on a lot of things, not sure if it's worth it though. If we wait a little bit, I think it'll be much more. Also, once we start to get the essences, it will be a lot more.
Into the...
I think I'll go for trying to kill the Sparkmaster 5000. End things there. It shouldn't be too tough. Famous last words in this game, I guess. But I honestly do think that we have a lot of lightning ability I can do. Lightning damage. I can position myself through invisibility. I can buff my damage to a high degree. 60% bonus overall, I guess, more or less. I could buff it further by drinking an intelligence potion. Would be a fairly cheap buff too. What exactly is it though? +2 intellect. It would increase the chance of status effects. Okay. How hard can it be? It was one of the first bosses I ever fought, and I was a terrible player at that point. So, and I still managed it. So, I can't imagine it being that hard now. It's good to have some special considerations, though.
Finally, you've come. The others, they're... But wait. I'm just a farmer. Fabulous. Ha! What do they expect? Oh, please, I implore you. Nothing much. You look like a veteran warrior if...
Richard, Victor, and Bisco. I'll try to keep these guys alive. And you do follow me. Can I ditch you with invisibility? No. How about stealth? Stealth works. For some reason. I don't want them getting interfering the fight, and I think there's a bonus associated if they can be kept alive. I don't want to keep anyone else alive though. I want to focus on keeping my own ass alive. 739. 50% weakness to air and crushing. That's odd. So it's not that much. With the damage bonuses, we can probably do a significant amount of electrical damage. Enough to bring it down in 2 turns using scrolls. And that's including the fact that they're gonna spam it with some spells of their own. Their position is a little bit different than I recall. I recall 2 here and none at the back. Now there's 2 at the back and 1 here. That's an archer. Right, I think they're positioned very differently, but the numbers seem to match. I guess they're intended to be protected by that guy. I'm not sure if it's good or bad for me, because I want to just attack him. I don't want them to get in the way. So in some cases this positioning is better for me. Could also go with a haste. That's invisibility. Yeah, no matter how I look at it, it's sort of a tough situation for us. What I need to be able to do is have a clean line of sight on it. Hopefully while being outside the detection range of the other undead. Yeah, he seems not to be looking in this direction. Target is too far. Can always go invisible, I guess. Yeah, now we're within attack range. Okay, full speed ahead. And they have the higher initiative. They'll use lightning on it.
Another charge!
Yeah, we want the air elemental there too. Because if we start blasting it with electricity, it's definitely gonna fire quickly. I can do 2 things. Might not be ready to fire now. Yeah, it took quite a bit of damage from the single charge attack. Yeah, give me an air elemental there. Preferably somewhere where it's not gonna hit me and it at the same time. I can't do all that much about good lightning attack, it all comes from scrolls. Headwise is more powerful. And it's blinded. Not sure what the actual repercussion of that is. Yeah, he lost almost half his health already. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be too big of a problem for us. The Blitzbolt will have a higher chance of stunning him. Only can do one other attack. Maybe go for invisible, because that way he's certainly not gonna target me. Failed. Well, the idea was good.
I'm on it!
We're gonna heal. Yeah. Immune to stunning, immune to lightning damage. Well, they're definitely healing that goddamn guy. But that's not good enough. Yeah. Ready to blow indeed. My damage might be a bit low, but he's boned.
Spirits of air, vanquish my foes.
I'm sort of thinking, should I risk and not attack it with full spell capabilities? But that would be incredibly stupid, wouldn't it? Yeah. I would have basically been murdered horribly if I would have done that. I still could. They are clearly using stunning attacks. I'm not exactly immune to that.
Awaken and serve.
This is why we have the Avatar Storms. For the next 3 turns I cannot be stunned. And failed to apply haste. Ah, that's perfect. Still, not much of a fight. So, at the same time, if I had not created my air scrolls, it would have gone very differently. So, I was disappointed in the scrolls, but they were good enough to get the job done. That's more or less what we can hope for them about them. What exactly can we do here? I cannot be stunned. They are stunned on the other hand. They'll probably start to heal each other too. Let's see if I can... Ooh. Give me adrenaline.
Surge within me.
That's 3 hits. Surely I can do something. Yeah, I'm thinking of using a grenade. It's not necessary, but I'll survive it, and I can kill the other of the mages there. That way I don't have to really worry about the status effects ruining this anymore. He wasted his attacks on that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm gonna throw him back into the fire if he's not. Can't do it. Well, I sort of can. I guess the guys who were here talked to me from somewhere. I wouldn't say perfect.
Ooh.
Fire essence. But
Shield me! I am powerless to protect myself.
for God's sakes. But it still went well. And even the sort of less popular spells sort of show their usefulness here. I'm not sure if we should keep them as spells because of that, but I suppose more or less value of the scrolls, the variety of scrolls, not just the big hitting damage scrolls. Sometimes you need a little bit of an oomph or a shield, not just extra damage. Right. We'll loot the place. There were ore veins here too. Looks like iron. Okay, I think our next big opponents will be, as boss opponents, are gonna be water users. Then fire. Then air, then water. My point there isn't to try to guess what every boss is gonna use as their main attack. Is that I think earth is gonna be one of those things that we're not gonna see for quite a while. It'll come back big when we go into the Lukula forest and trolls and the like, things like that. Maybe spiders, the area where there's a constant slow effect on you. That sort of thing. But it's not a... We don't need to resist Earth for a long time. We should focus on things like that. But water and fire are the immediate problems. Air is a sort of a problem too, in a way. I think void creatures are pretty much immune to Tenebrium and air damage, so we can't really rely on those as our main sources of damage in any situation. Because in the end, we can't use them at all. It has to be something else. Now I'm thinking our main or primary use of attack or skill is actually air. Not air, water. Because it offers healing abilities, and because of the hail attack it has, it's reasonably damaging. While I can't think of more than maybe a couple of fights, I can't recall all, where it wouldn't be useful. For the most part, you can almost throw it at any fight and does a huge amount of damage. There's a lot of frozen people, and there's an area of breathing ground that everyone sleeps on, except me. So I think it's it's a reasonable thing to try to
So it seems I found Charlene's brother, Tom.
focus on.
She'll be devastated.
Because I can't skill up everything. I can just have a basic level of skills on a lot of things, like getting access to adept level spells, maybe a couple of them. Then it's the scrolls. Because fundamentally that, in the end, that's how it has to go. Every time there's a hard fight, I'm not relying on my action points on these. They help, we're using them, but the real burst of action comes from scrolls. And I don't think that particular feature is gonna go away someday. I'm trying to locate a portal and end there. I can go report the... we don't have to report the quest. I'm not exactly in any threat of getting a level up or anything. Just would like to end in a place where I can teleport around. Wagon wheel, level 10. There should be a couple of fights here. Tough fights too. There's the Watcher statues, which would be demons. Elemental demons. We should have the capability of taking them down. Not great selection of spells, but physical damage works and they are going to be vulnerable to their opposite element. So we can take them. It's a suspicious tree. Very different from everything else that's here. Right, test portal. Right. There should be, I think, an enemy camp. Sorcerer that summons sand golems. Staff of Pergamon and Watcher statues somewhere. So quite a lot of things for us to kill. And I don't think they're all that easy fights either. Enough maybe to get close to another level. If not, I'm not sure where we should go. We can basically wrap up a couple of side quests here at the moment and nothing